Hi guys, welcome back to Sunday League to Champions League. My name is Chris, aka Big Will, and today we have our last two games of the season against Aberdeen and Celtic, both of which are away from home, and it's going to be a relatively stress-free episode. We have officially qualified for the Conference League, as you saw yesterday, and we are in a position now where we can take a look at one or two of the other players and just give them a little bit more game time. Of course, Fraser Sharp's one of those. He came off the bench against Hearts, scored two goals, and as such, that defeat against us for Hearts has meant Rangers have gone into second place. So there's a Champions League qualification spot still up for grabs, and as you can see, the relegation fight is still all to play for as well between Motherwell, Kilmarnock, Ross County, and Livingston. So as we go into this game against Aberdeen, like I say, we are going to rotate a little bit. There's no pressure on these games at all, so we'll see how we get on with our rotated side, and hopefully we can just get a couple of decent results, or if not, we've at least got the players some game time and we can see how they're going to get on maybe for next season. Before we carry on though, a little bit of sad news. I did check on Cheshunt to see how they got on in the Vanarama National League, and unfortunately they've finished in 22nd place. They have been relegated back to the National League South, so unfortunately since we have left they have started to go a little bit downhill, which is a bit of a shame really. We managed to build up quite a decent squad for the National League really, but it's just not worked out for them, so they are back down unfortunately. But as sad as it is, we've moved on to bigger and better things, and we continue to do so. We want a bit of revenge on Aberdeen. They did beat us last time out. Like I say, we've completely rotated the team today. There's not really much to play for either side, to be honest. Aberdeen can't qualify for Europe, as we know now. It's just a case of the players putting in decent performances, so we'll see how we get on. And Aberdeen have had the early majority of possession. They've had an early chance as well. We've now come back and started to play a little bit in the opening quarter of an hour. Quite an even game, plenty of chances being created by the looks of it as well. Rangers are ahead against Hibernian as it stands. Kilmarnock and St Mirren are ahead in their games as well. Livingston Motherwell's a massive game also. Here's Middleton into Moore. Now Bass plays it back into Bennett. Now Digbereku into O'Donnell. Van Roy. Good opportunity for a cross it. Finds Linson and it's taken a couple of deflections. And Guido Polidoro scores his 12th goal of the campaign. I think that puts him level with Cudjoe actually on our top scorers list. We haven't had massive amount of goals from one individual player this season. It's been quite evenly spread around the wingers as well as one or two of the strikers. And as such, it's been a bit of a strange season. We've done well for the most part, but in terms of goal scorers, I think we will look at Guari Rapper, sorry, for next season to be our main striker and really get us the goals. But we'll have to see how we get on. And there's a set piece here by Aberdeen, which has come to nothing. And it looks like we're looking at clearing away for a counter attack, but nothing comes of it in the end, and it remains 1-0. As you can see from that right hand side momentarily there, there's no changes in the other score lines. And here is Ayari back to Dees. Now New into Ramadani. Back to Diaz. Good pressure there from our number 18. I think that's Hlinson on that right hand side. Chong looks to beat Bas in the air, but Bennett manages to do well and clear. New wins it back though. Well played by O'Donnell. Now Hlinson looks to get it inside, but Messina wins the challenge. Very poor there from Hlinson, and Shakfadad has found Chong, and it is 1-1. Tahith Chong with the equaliser. And to be quite honest, with the last couple of minutes that we've just watched there, it has been coming. Aberdeen have been trying to find the gaps in that back four, and the equaliser has been gained. But again, still quite an even game. We've both had even number of chances on target. They've had a couple more attempts overall. But overall, reasonably happy. Like I say, we've rotated the team a little bit more today, and there's a few players playing that haven't had a lot of game time, so we can take it over the pinch of salt. But this is a derby game, so it's still important to the fans, of course, so hopefully we can at least come away with something. Staszewski claimed that one well. O'Donnell couldn't beat Dees to it. And now Ayari to Ramadani, exchanging the passes. Bass intercepts from Chong. Now Middleton has support ahead of him if he can find it. And he waited too long, in my opinion, there. He could have played the pass earlier. And Chong into Ramadani. Looks for Karacic, the right back. Chong's going to run beyond him here. And Ayari plays it into Chong. And there is that run that I was just saying. Back to Karacic. And they're just exchanging passes down that right-hand side. Chong's gone for glory. It's gone over the bar. It would have been a brilliant team goal, to be fair. But as such, it remains one apiece. And we've gone off the pace a little bit as the half's gone on. We need to wake up a little bit. We're going to pump the fist, and I think we're going to mention about the fans if we can. Yeah, we'll see if giving the players a bit of motivation for the fans will do anything. Motherwell with a 2-goal lead, 2 goals right at the end of the first half against Livingston. That is a massive result if it goes their way. That would secure their safety for next season. Here's Van Rooij, poor control, and Drysdale gets onto it. Now Messina into Diaz. Now Ayari to Chakvadads, who looks over the top, and again Tahith Chong has got the better of Bass so many times, and there's Chakvadads, and it's 2-1 to Aberdeen. It's been coming. There's no doubt about it. It has been coming. Chakvadads is a very good player, by the way, and we tried to sign him ourselves, but we couldn't afford his wage that he was asking for. We're going to fire the boys up a little bit in this second half, and I think we're going to have to make some changes as well. We're not getting back into the game, and we've not had a decent attempt at goal for quite some time. We're going to bring Lulic on that left-hand side. We're going to bring Rory McLeod on as well for Hlinson. McLeod, of course, hasn't seen a lot of game time recently, so in fact, we'll put McLeod up front. Polidoro can drop back to that left wing slot. We're going to bring Moscardo on for an opportunity. We're going to take Lewis O'Donnell off, I think, and we'll push Craig Moore up a little bit. I think we'll see how he does in that attacking midfielder position. And in terms of defence, Van Rooij's probably been the better of our back four, but he's on a yellow card. We're going to bring Sirkin on for Yuri Bass. Bass has really struggled against Tahith Chong today. And Sebastian Pereira we're going to bring on as well. He's coming back from injury. We're going to bring him on for Van Rooij, and we're going to move Dick Beraku out to that right back position. And that is going to be all 5 of our substitutes. And that is going to be job done. As far as we're concerned, all we can do now is wait and see if we can get back into this game. Celtic lead against Hearts, and Rangers are battering Hibernian now. Motherwell battering Livingston now as well. So Motherwell looking good for safety. Rangers are looking good for Champions League qualification. And Kilmarnock lead against Ross County. Another big result could be happening in that game also. So can we do anything here? We're going to demand more, just to see if we can get into it a bit more. I mean, Stashevski's had a poor game. Dick Beraku's had a poor game as well. And it looks like it's going to be another defeat against Aberdeen for us here. We have got back into it a little bit in the second half, but there's nothing really gone in our favour. Stashevski here with a goal kick. A late equaliser would be lovely. Stashevski plays it forward. Moore looks to win it. Couldn't beat Messina, but Lulic has beaten his man to it. He needs support. And he plays it in, and oh, McLeod's won it and smashed it home. Big error from Dijon Bernard, and despite the lack of game time from Rory McLeod, that is his 9th goal of the season. And due to a mistake defensively, we could have salvaged a draw here, which is a really good result in my opinion. Aberdeen have had the better of us for the most part of the season, and yes, we're ahead of them in the table, but to me, Aberdeen are one of the better teams in Scotland, and that is a very good result in the end. McLeod off the bench with a goal. Really important one for him as well. He's, like I say, the players that have played today haven't had a lot of game time. So the fact that they've come in, we've got a good result against one of the better teams in Scotland. Really happy with that. There's 1 or 2 players that didn't play as well, and I'm starting to get an idea of the kind of players that I want to let go come the end of the season. But we'll have to wait and see how it goes. Can I just say, looking at that league table, by the way, there's 1 game left. Hibernian are guaranteed 6th place because they finished in that top half, and yet St Johnstone and St Mirren have now got more points than Hibernian, but still Hibernian finish above them. Never understood that. It's such an odd situation to be in. Kilmarnock in the end only managed to draw with Ross County, a last minute equaliser from Carlos Edwards, giving Ross County an opportunity to stay out of that relegation fight. It's down to the last game of the season for those teams, Kilmarnock, Ross County and Livingston. All 3 of them could go down. It's likely Livingston are going to go down, unfortunately, because of their poor goal difference. Motherwell are safe. So Kilmarnock, Ross County and Livingston, see how they get on in their last game of the season. And we move on to our last game of the season, which will be Celtic away. And like I say, we'll just get through them couple of days off camera, and then we'll be back for that game. And hopefully, like I say, we can finish the season in style and get another good result. Okay, guys, here we go. The last game of the season, we're away against Celtic. We're going to make a number of changes to the side. We're back to a quite a strong looking starting 11, and hopefully, like I say, we can get a decent result. And for the first time for the first time since we've been charged at least, try not to get beat by Celtic. Next season, obviously, we'll be aiming for there or thereabouts the same. I think we've done really well to do what we've done this season, but we're looking at improving the squad and then maintaining the league position. I think that is a very good target to have for next season. But we're in a position, of course, where it's just going to be a case of just see how we get on, really. And in games like this at the end of the season that don't mean too much, I mean, they've clearly rotated, they've got a number of younger players in, but even so, if we can get a good result today, it'll still stand us in good stead. In terms of other scores, Livingston are officially relegated. The bottom half of the league played yesterday in game, and Kilmarnock stayed safe. Ross County are in a relegation playoff, and as you can see here, Celtic have actually taken the lead after just 2 minutes, which is not ideal considering the amount of rotation they've put into their side. I don't think he was offside. Oh, he was offside. Disallowed goal in the opening couple of minutes from Tyreek George, and it remains 0-0. So I'll just get the league table up. So as you can see there, Ross County are in a relegation playoff and Livingston are down. Here's Lawal. Guararappa does well to intercept. Plays it over the top looking for Fraser Sharp and it's intercepted well by the defender, but it's come here for Dennis Serkin at left back, who whips it in and looking for James, and he's hit the crossbar. Van Rooij tried to pick it up ahead of George, and it's going to be cleared here, and the potential counter-attack for Celtic leads to nothing. Celtic, of course, already have won the league, which is why they've rotated so much. And James again with a header just over the bar. But we want that scalp here. We want to get a good result against Celtic. Celtic and Rangers are the target that we've got to reach. And obviously Hearts are a target that we've got to reach now as well. The fact that we've hit, as it stands, the 60-point mark as well is again a brilliant achievement. I wasn't expecting to get anywhere near that, considering the club only got 37 points at the end of last season and then we took charge. We have come on leaps and bounds this season, really. Here's Serkin moving down the left-hand side again. He's been fantastic for us at left-back this season. Harris does well to knock it inside to James, and he finds Harris again. Potential opportunity, and it is in. Luke Harris opens the scoring. Don't get me wrong, I know it's a rotated Celtic side, but this would still be an excellent result if we could get a victory, especially away from home. Yes, they've already won the league. They've not got anything to play for, but it doesn't matter to me. We need a good result against a side like Celtic, just for the belief, really. And it'll prove that we can beat them, regardless of what the team is. Obviously, if we can get a good result, it will really go a long way for next season's thoughts. And Graham has made it 2-0 here. It's his first goal of the season. It's come in the last game of the season. Harris with the assist in potentially his last game for the club as well, of course. He is on loan from our parent club, Fulham. And that means obviously we've been able to bring him in with no wage contributions or anything, but he's had a really good season since coming in on loan. If we can extend the loan, that would be ideal. Here is James, and Harris has latched onto it, but it's going to be cleared away here, and Kelly knocks it forward looking for Daisy Maeda. Cleared by Quinones, more into Azak Kesgin. Serkin here, cutting into the penalty area, couldn't find Fraser Sharp, but it's come out to Moore and Kesgin again. Now Graham into Serkin. Garirapa inside, and there is James, and it's 3-0 here. Jordan James with only his third goal of the season, and we have certainly finished the season strongly. Yes, it was disappointing that we didn't get the result we wanted against Aberdeen, but we still managed to draw, so it was still a positive. But this has been a great finish to the season, with wins against everybody, bar Rangers, and obviously that draw against Aberdeen. It's a really, really good test for us, and we've certainly proven ourselves in this, what they call the Premiership, like the, I'm not sure. I think it's the champions group. I think they call it. Here's Harris with the ball in, and Quinones that time with a header just over the bar. We are absolutely dominant here against this rotated Celtic team, and 3-0 up at half time. We are certainly heading all the way for a good 3 points here. And they brought in another couple of youngsters, which is fair enough. Here is May into Ralston, now Asagi into Luiziao. Kars in the central midfield looking for George wide left. Van Rooij does well to get in onto it and he just clears it away and the young left back Frame picks it up. Luiziao into Kars. Lawal. Azak Kesgin wins it back for us here and plays it forward to Gary Rapper on this left hand side. Gary Rapper plays it into Azak Kesgin. Now James again and it's just wide. We'll probably get to the hour mark and we'll bring on some of our reserve players I think as well. Give them more game time. Azak Kesgin into Gary Rapper. Moving forward down this left-hand side, Gary Rapper into Sirkin and Azak Kesgin and bundling about in the area and Harris unleashes a ferocious effort there, smashing it off the crossbar. It remains 3-0, but I've not seen us so dominant in a game this season really. Um, we've really dominated. Gary Rapper unfortunately has actually picked up an injury, so we'll make the changes now. We're going to bring Middleton on for an opportunity. Fiorini's not played too much recently, so we'll bring him on for Jordan James, who's had a brilliant game as well. Hlinson can come on for Luke Harris, wide right. To be quite honest, a number of these other players have played a lot of games for us this season. Quinones we can bring off for Reece Bennett. And it's not something I normally do, but I'm going to bring Brian Kinnear on in goal for Stashevsky. We'll give Kinnear a little bit of game time. It's just a nice thing to do, I think, to be honest. He's been very patient, waiting for an opportunity. And our substitute goalkeeper does get an opportunity here just to get an outing. Linton plays it forward. Fiorini picks it up into the penalty area. Looks for support inside, but plays it all the way back to Moore. And Moore's charging forward from defensive midfield. And the shot is wide of the post. Well, it remains 3-0, like I say, but we are dominating. But we've had 18 attempts at goal, but only 4 on target. So that is something that I have found we might need to work on. The fact that a number of our attempts aren't on target, it would be better, obviously. Even if they don't go, even if they tame shots, if we hit the target, we've got more of an opportunity to score. Goes without saying, really, doesn't it? George here to Kelly. And now Frame. Obviously, these young players that are playing today for Celtic potentially putting themselves in the shop window for a move, or they might even be trying to get extra game time at Celtic, of course, trying to make that breakthrough into the senior side. Here's Moore. Now Fiorini has support ahead of him, and Fraser Sharp left it, and Glenn Middleton has scored his first goal of the season. The former Rangers man will certainly have enjoyed that one. It's 4-0 here, and we are certainly finishing the season in style. What a way to end it. Here's Ocampo. Plays it back to Carter Vickers. Now Cars. Linton intercepts the pass and now here's Fiorini charging forward. Linton in support on that right hand side. Whips it across and there's Middleton again. He may have been offside for that one. Yeah, the defenders are making an appeal for the offside. I did suspect he was offside, to be fair. Yeah, the goal's been disallowed. It remains 4-0 with 20 minutes to go. Good to see Azak Kesgin coming back in the side as well. He had a big injury earlier in the season and he was in and around the rotation side of things. Hasn't played too much since coming back from injury, but he's having a really good game today. Dennis Sirkin's actually picked up a knock now, which is a bit of a shame. So we'll just push Glenn Middleton back. And what we'll do, we'll move Hlinson into that attacking midfield role. We're down to 10 men, but at 4-0 up in 10 minutes to go against a very young Celtic side. I'm quite comfortable with that, to be honest. I'd be disappointed if we conceded, of course. We've been far the dominant side, and it looks like we're just going to see the game out here, to be honest. Bit of a shame we've had a couple of injuries late on in the game as well with Guararappa and Sirkin, but we're at the end of the season. They will hopefully recover for next season. And there we have it, a 4-0 win away at, like I say, a very rotated Celtic side. But we've done well, we've got the result that we came for. We've ended the season superbly, and we will look forward to next season now And we've set records in the process, of course, for Dundee United. It's the highest ever league finish that they've had. Um, Obviously, it's our first season in charge, so we've really set the bar high. But from what the game told me before, it's the highest finish that they've had in the top division. And yes, there's a long way to go to catch the main three teams up here, but certainly options to build on. And of course, we have European football next season, which of course is a phenomenal achievement. We weren't expected to get there, but my word, have we got there, and we've done it reasonably comfortably in the end overall. Can't complain at all with the way the season's gone, and yeah, so Gary Rapper will be back next season, as will Sirkin. They were only out for 3 to 4 weeks, which is great news. We've received 1.5 million for that place, and the fact that we've qualified for Europe is a phenomenal achievement. And we are certainly going to have to look into making some new signings to keep that rotation option going and to improve the squad ready for that European adventure. So until next time, guys, it will be a transfer window special and our first league game of the season, unless we have to do qualifiers in Europe, which may come before, so we might even come back for some of those. But until next time, thank you very much for all your support. Please like and subscribe to the channel. All your support is greatly appreciated. I will see you all next time. This is Big Will, signing away.